If you want to start or grow a photography business, then you need to avoid these mistakes. I remember being scared to death when I was first starting my photography business, and I want you to be able to accelerate faster than I did by avoiding the same mistakes that I made. Look, number one is starting full-time too early. I know we all want to jump to full-time photography faster than we want it to take. And that's okay, but you also need to be realistic about how much income you're bringing in with photography versus your lifestyle. If you look at a monthly budget, and I would encourage you to set up a monthly budget to figure out how much you're spending every single month based on your income that you're bringing in, and you need to make at least 50% of what you're making at your full-time job with your photography before you switch that over. Now, you can definitely speed that process up by reducing the amount that you're actually spending and how much you're bringing in. So if you spend less, you can definitely jump to photography full-time faster, but that also factors in lifestyle, what you're willing to give up, and what you're able to spend. Also, if you have a family and other people that may rely on you for your income. So I understand the frustration of wanting to jump to photography full-time, but remember, I worked on it 6 years on the side before I actually jumped for photography full-time, and that was years of long nights, long weekends, and hard days. Doing it that way allowed me to set up a consistent income that I could rely on for the next 12 years, and that's how long I've been doing photography full-time now. Now, speaking of income, mistake number 2 is not dispersing your income. When you're starting with photography, it can be really tempting to say, I want to do this, like I want to sell prints, that's all I want to do. But if you don't diversify how much money you're making or where those channels of income are coming from, then you're risking it all on that one basket. I remember when I was first starting out, I knew that I had this great idea for a product that was going to come out, and I put all of my eggs in that one basket. While I did make some sales, I didn't have anything coming in after that. Thus, I had this spike of income at the very beginning, but then basically nothing after that. That was a hard lesson learned, but learning about other forms of income like affiliate streams, social media marketing, and courses allowed me to continue getting revenue while those print sales were down, while those workshops were down. So you always want to have these extra forms of income coming in before you can rely on one specific thing. Now, I have 3 more mistakes that you definitely want to avoid, but first I want to tell you about a free web class that's happening right now. That's in the video description and in the pinned comments on how to turn your passion for landscape photography into a side hustle. So if you click that link below, you can register for that free web class that's going on right now. Mistake number 3 is too much overhead. A second ago, I mentioned making money off of prints, and that's how a lot of photographers want to do it, which is great, but you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you have too many prints and too few sales. That's a lot of money spent on prints and not as much income coming in from the sales of those prints. I recently had a discussion on expert art show photographer Kevin Jordan, who talked about how he manages his overhead costs versus how much he's spending in the art shows. Here's what he had to say.
So I'll say in my booth, I have from 8x12 matted prints, 12x18 matted prints, and then a couple various sizes of metal prints that I'll hang on the wall and have be the sort of more eye-catching pieces. Those ones that are on the wall, the metal prints, I don't sell those specific ones off the wall. If anyone's interested, I'll place an order and I'll ship it to them. I've never had anyone complain about that. And if they've ever questioned it, my response always is, these come to every show with me. They've been beat up a little bit. Like, I want you to have one that is, fresh out of the box with no potential, scratches or dings or anything. And the couple times I've had to say that, no one's ever had any issue with it. So it's a nice way to keep your upfront costs down too. So maybe you have 4, 5, 6 big pieces that you put around the outside of your booth to sort of keep it, eye-catching for the people outside. And if you do that, you spend that money once, and if someone likes them, you can just order it on the back end and, prevent yourself from needing to put that upfront cost.
So try to find ways of reducing your overhead costs and thus increasing your income streams. Mistake number 4 is not outsourcing your work. Now, your time is really valuable. It's the one resource and asset that we just don't get back. You can always find ways to make other income streams, but time is slipping away constantly. So you want to be aware of that. Once you get to a point where you're able to spend more time doing the things that are working, and when you get to those things, you want to double down on them and work harder on them. But once you find those things, you want to start outsourcing your time and work to people and a team that are going to help support you. For example, if you're making a lot of YouTube videos, you may find a time where you're making enough income to where you can outsource the creation of YouTube thumbnails or a YouTube script. There are a lot of ways you can outsource that work so that you can focus on taking photos, filming videos, and helping other people. So you definitely want to outsource your work when those opportunities come. Great marketplaces out there do exist like Fiverr to help you come up with ways to outsource your work so that you can spend more time doing the things you love and enjoy, thus giving you more life and energy into your photography business. Another mistake is spending too much money. And I know that sounds like an easy one, but it's a mistake a lot of people make. Once you start to get some success, it can be easy to start spending more money on cameras, lenses, deposits on a studio, a gallery, more prints. But if you aren't careful about budgeting your money when it comes to your spending, you could find yourself actually spending more than you're actually making, which is a bad place to be. Remember, there are ways to save money on taxes with your photography and have write-offs towards your income when it comes to taxes, but you also want to be sure that those purchases make sense and you're not just spending all of your income to get tax write-offs. So make logical decisions and don't just buy things that you think you need for your business or to impress other people who you don't really care about in the first place. Hey, if you want some more photography business advice, click or tap this card showing up on your screen right now that's going to take you to a playlist that's going to help you out a ton.